Yeah, part two. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our One World Zohar connection and energy connection with this week's portion of the Zohar. This week's portion is Vayetze. In our edition of the Zohar, it's in volume 5, and we're going to be at verse 109. That's Article 15, but verse 109. And it's called And Jacob Went Out of Beersheba, part 2. Okay, so before we begin, as we do each week, let's connect to the Kabbalistic lineage of the Rav and Karen and Michael, Rabbi Shlag, Rabbi Brandwein, the Ariya Kodesh, the Ramchal, Rabbi Tarfon, Rabbi Rama Bazulai, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Lav Vitebsk, Rav Cologne, Mishra Piasetson, the Baal Shem Tov, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and all the students from Mordechai of Chernobyl, Lentzov Yosef Tzadik in Shechem, Joseph the Righteous in current day Nablus. Also, today's the anniversary of elevation of Rav Aaron ben Rav Mordechai of Chernobyl. So we have Rav Aaron's assistance today in connecting to these verses and channeling unlimited light and blessings from the upper world. As we think about the channeling of blessings, let's begin by connecting to the energy of healing. So anyone we know who needs healing, now's the time to send them energy of healing as we connect to these verses. Mintvat Chaya Moshe ben Chana, Albert ben Emelda, Melda ben Carmen, Yisrael Zeb ben Menya Rachel, Ariel ben Rivka Tova, Meir Tzvi ben Gittel, Nachman ben Chaya, Rachel ben Chaya, Jeffrey ben Fern, Shannon Devorah Chaya Chana, Levi ben Blumen, Sarah ben Malka, Yisk ben Rivka, Melissa ben Margie, Chana ben Rivka, Karen bat Susan, Yudit Masanavon bat Aviva, Ganesa ben Rachel Dinas, Surapel ben Teresa, Carol bat Susan, Aviva bat Naina. Let's also send out energy of assistance to those souls that we know in the first 12 months of their elevation. Let's also connect to the energy of Ahavat Chinam, unconditional love, treating everyone in the world with human decency, removing negativity and chaos from our world, ending the wars and conflicts going on in our world, protection for all those innocents that are in harm's way, protection from evil eye and evil speech. And I think that's enough. That's all I can think of right now. So those are the things we want to be centered on and anchoring our consciousness in as we connect to these verses. So again, we're at verse 109 of the portion of Vayetze. It's volume 5. Davar acher, Vayetze Yaakov mi be'er shava v'yelech harana. Rabbi Abba Ptach v'amar, Ashrei shomrei mishpat oseh tzedakah b'chol et. Ashrei shomrei mishpat. Zakaim inun Yisrael. The Kuchabrichu Yahav lon oraita dikshot. Lish tadala va yemama v'leile. Dahakol man ish tadab oraita. It le cheru mikola. Cheru min mota. Dala yachla leshal ta'a ale. Va ukmuha. Begin the choman ishtadab oraita. Bit ached ba. It ached bi'ilana dechaye. Bi'arpe garme me ilana dechaye. Ha ilana demota sharia aloy. Bit ached be. Haduntiv hit rapita beyom tsara tsar kochecha. Hit rapita I arpe yedoy me oraita. Maria, you want to start with just the relevance?
Sure. Jacob's departure from the land of Israel is a metaphor for a man's departure from a pure and positive existence.
Okay, so what happens this week? Well, last week, Jacob took the blessing that was ostensibly going to Esau, his brother. I mean, it sounds like a Cain and Abel story all over again. Two brothers in conflict. This time, though, even though Esau wants to kill Jacob, Jacob hightails it out of Dodge. He leaves. And that's what this is. Jacob departs from the land of Israel. So, oh, a great little story. You know, maybe it's a great little bedtime story for your kids or your grandkids or your nieces and nephews. I don't know. But the bottom line is it's never about that. It's the question that we always have to ask ourselves. This is not a history lesson. What is the present moment relevance of this story? This is the week of Vayetze, and he went out. He departed. What does it mean to depart? What's the significance of any departure? Well, it's a transition. Hopefully, we're always departing and heading in an upward trajectory. But sometimes we have to take a downward trajectory to get to that upward trajectory. So what does it mean that Jacob's departing the land of Israel? What this Zohar, with the significance of this particular Zohar is it's a metaphor for our departure from a pure and positive existence. And where is that? Because I'm still looking for that. Where is that pure and positive existence? Well, clearly it's in the upper realm. It's in the Garden of Eden. It's in the flawless universe. It's in the reservoir of fulfillment. It's the upper world. So he leaves the upper world. So this is, on some levels, analogous to the journey of our soul. We're not here, physical beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. And that's so this section is attuned to giving us an opportunity to go deeper on what exactly the journey of our life is. That's what this is about. Jacob departs Israel for destination to be determined. Our soul departs the upper realm for also a destination. I don't know. Do I know where I'm going? I'm navigating moment to moment. I went shopping for Shabbat at the local grocery store and I ran into a friend. He said, "How's it going?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know how it's going." I said, if I'm going to be honest, I don't know. Now, I knew I could say that to him because he'd appreciate it. But I'm being honest, like, I don't know. All I know is I was here to get groceries. That's one thing I was doing. And the other thing I was doing is trying to be as connected to my joy and appreciation, which is relevant to, what's going on in many places of the world. When we talk about Thanksgiving, we're talking about just appreciation. So I want to be appreciative also of this journey, even though along with it comes challenges. So this is a huge opportunity for us to double down on appreciation and to get insight, spiritual insight into this journey that we're on. Let's continue. Thanks, Maria. Keep going.
Throughout life, we are lured by the material world where short-lived achievements are based on egocentric drives and ambitions.
Okay, so isn't it about whoever accumulates the most toys wins at the end of the day? No, clearly not. If you're on the Kabbalistic path, it's not a matter of that. And yes, I'm sure there are people that score it that way, and to some degree, so do we. And it's not like we're here to not participate in, appreciate, or even get joy, short-term joy. We have to understand it is short-term. It's like this is the journey of our soul. The question is, what does our soul bring along after this journey is over? That's the paradox of our life. That's the question. Well, what it brings along is the parts of the journey that we're on that elevates our soul. That is sustainable. That's the ultimate in sustainability, in continuity. We're here to do work to elevate our soul. Not in this world, in the world to come. And I don't mean like someday down the road. I mean, when the upper realm is occupying this realm, when we are at the final correction, the Gemara Tikkun, and we've reestablished the Garden of Eden consciousness in this world. It's like, where's my soul? Well, there's a hierarchy, apparently. And so the work that we're doing is it really just about finishing in a higher level? It's really not. It's about manifesting blessings in this world. It's about being a channel. We've often talked about the levels of soul. There are 5, but the first 3, nefesh, ruach, neshama. When I'm at the level of nefesh, I'm a victim of everything going on. It's the most basic level of soul. At the level of ruach, I am able to see that these things are happening for me. Everything that's going on in my life is my unique movie to assist me in doing the work I wanted to come here to do. And at the level of neshama, I realize I'm just a channel. What I'm here to do is remove blockages around my soul, my little corner of creation, my little spark of the creator, and channel more blessings. I'm just a channel. It's personal, but ultimately I'm just a channel for the creator's light. But I have to go on that journey here. I have to, my soul is participating in a physical journey. And so that's what but we get lured into that material world. Of course we do. It's so enticing. And that's okay, so long as we don't lose sight of why we're here. Let's continue.
Spiritual achievements, which are eternal, come about through struggle to remain on the path of spiritual development. Here we arouse the divine presence of the Shekhinah, which protects us from seduction of the external world and the compelling impulses ignited by our evil inclination.
Okay, so we're back, and those of you who are on Monday through Thursday participating in our study of the book of Breshit, the Zohar on Breshit. So, we're dealing with the construct of reality is one where we have evil, what's called the Yetzer Hara. There's the Yetzer Hara and the Yetzer Tov, which translates into evil inclination and good inclination. But ultimately, when you're talking about the creation story, you're talking about the snake. And the snake's still here. The snake is our desire to receive for the self. The evil inclination is a wiring. It's a software program. It's part of our operating system if you're in the physical world. And it is the snake. It's not you. It's not your soul. It's that little whisper in your head that tells you to go for the immediate gratification. And so what we have here is an opportunity to connect to these verses and rise above the compelling impulses ignited by our evil inclination. It's there. Let's not even deny it. Let's not deny it. Part of what we're doing is acknowledging it. Because acknowledging it is like step one in every 11-step program, but it's also step one in our ability to rise above those impulses that create greater blockages around our heart, our soul. So this is a tremendous opportunity for us this week. It is as we connect to the Zohar and also as we delve into the story of Jacob and Jacob's journey. What does Jacob do? And there were Zohars last week about this, but it's so powerful. We read last week that Jacob stole the blessing from Esau. It's like he's the third in the patriarchy, Jacob, and he deceived his father? Like, what kind of world is this? Are we condoning deception? Maria, do you want to add something to that?
Yeah, I just want to continue adding before you continue,
Okay.
developing on this conversation in this class here.
Yeah.
A few seconds ago, you mentioned, as we continue growing and the serpent is there and the negative inclination is there to just, sometimes that negative inclination comes and the negative energy comes in a very disguised ways that sometimes we think is coming from the good side. And I think we have to have that open heart and that open discernment and be aligned and be, just ask the creator if that's coming that we're hearing, is it right for us or it's just a temptation?
How do we know?
And that's going to direct us to the wrong path, even though we probably hear it coming from the right side.
It's not so easy. It's not so clear. It's really not. It's really not. And, the litmus test, the quick test is, am I in a reactive place? And the truth is that we're in reactive places and we don't realize it. We're reacting constantly, triggered by our desire to receive for the self, triggered by that snake. And we are oblivious to the fact that that's what's going on. So that's what's so important for us to just be present to what we're feeling in my inner reactive state. And that's the power of just pausing. Like, wait a second, am I reactive right now? Like, short of working in an emergency room, I'm like, what really requires an immediate response? Like, how
Yeah.
many times in life do I need to decide now?
Yeah. And at the same time, David, right? It's like things good, we think good things are coming and we just like, wow, this is really coming to me. This is amazing. And then sometimes that's when I think, at least me, I slow down and I just think a little bit before I just fully accept it to make sure
Absolutely.
this is coming from the creator or this is just a trick that I don't want to fall
Right.
into.
Right.
And that,
It's not always easy to know.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
not
And we go
always
through
easy
it
to know.
every day.
Right. All the time.
Yeah.
So again, a really, really among the most important things that we do. And asking the creator for help and talking to the creator about it. Like, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing right now? I mean, it's not easy.
Mhm.
But again, that's the point of the struggle to remain on the path of spiritual development. We're struggling. It's a struggle. If it's not a struggle, if you're not struggling, you're not really doing your work. I know I watched a lot of football yesterday, and I marvel at um, these elite athletes. And they drop the ball, and they do all kinds of things, and they're still the most elite athletes on the face of the earth. It's unbelievable. And it's a struggle, it's a battle, and it's analogous to in so many ways we are elite in the work that we're doing with our soul. That soul is elite and uniquely cut out to handle the challenges of our life. We're just not, getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars to do it. That's the only difference.
And by the way, is to make sure we catch the ball and make it to the end, to the goal, to the fulfillment, to the
Yeah, absolutely. But there's a big, one of the most basic rules of catching a ball is like catch first, run second. It's like just focus on catching the ball. Even the pros, like they get distracted. Someone's about to hit them, you know. So that again, it's a matter of being present to what's going on. I love to use NFL metaphors.
gotcha.
Um, I want to just get back to something else I was saying before, and that is what's the deal with Jacob, the patriarch, deceiving his dad? Like, why was that an okay thing? And his mom puts him up to it. So it's not like it's just like the patriarch deceiving his patriarchal father. It was the matriarch assisting. What was going on?
Well, she actually started it, didn't she?
Well, she did. She's like, yo, Jacob, your dad's about to give the blessing to your brother. So if you look at the story on the surface, it just looks like, an episode of some kind of reality TV show. Not sure what that show would be called, but Real Housewives of the Bible. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like when you look at it from that perspective. That can't be. It can't be. And I'm not just looking to justify it. I want to understand more deeply what's going on because we know, because Rabbi Shimon tells us, and the Zohar goes into detail about these aren't just stories for us. It's a code that we need to decode. And with the help of the Zohar, we're able to. With the help of the Zohar, with the help of Rabbi Schlag and other Kabbalists through the ages, we get the opportunity to decode that. And with the Zohar in last week's portion said, it was a battle with the snake. The snake was right there. What Rebecca and Jacob were doing was battling the snake. Again, no different than in the Garden of Eden and no different than in our lives every day. Every day. And if you think that battling the snake means being nice to everybody, you're wrong. No, sometimes you have to be left calm, harsh. You still want to treat people with human decency, but you have to stand up. Sometimes it requires some harshness. And it says, and the Zohar says that Jacob had to act in a deceitful way because he wasn't deceiving his dad. He was deceiving the snake. That's how the snake operates. And we know that Isaac was left calm. That's why he never leaves Israel. Jacob is leaving the land of Israel right now. Isaac never leaves the land of Israel. He can't because he needs to keep judgment in balance. He needs to open up the channels for us to be keeping a check on our judgments. That doesn't mean we don't have them. It doesn't mean we don't use them. It doesn't mean we don't have to show up strong. We do, where appropriate. So Jacob wasn't deceiving his dad. That's the way the story presents. He was dealing with the snake, and his mom, and Rebecca saw that. And so did Jacob. But ultimately, now he's got the blessing, and Esau is coming after him because Esau is completely engaged in this struggle. But he represents the negative side of that struggle. He is the snake. It's crazy. It really, I mean, it's a mind blower. But again, it's strengthening us to show up with resolve in the challenges that we have and to have the discernment to know when it is that I have to operate in a certain way because that's who I'm dealing with. I need to be boundaried. I need to find my voice. I need to take care of myself. Okay, let's continue.
109.
Yes.
There is another explanation of the verse. And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran.
Okay, so this is, in other words, the Zohar is saying that is because this verse is also, it's the title verse. And there's another Zohar preceding this that deals with this verse, but we're on the second version of it. Are they in conflict? Should I maybe read the first one so I can understand? There's no conflict. Even if they appear to be in conflict, they're not. It's like, you shine a light goes through a diamond and it shines light in all different places. It's like there's multiple nuanced aspects to every single thing that's occurring in our life. And of course, in the blueprint for life, which is the Torah, which is what that verse is from. So again, Jacob goes out. He departs. Let's continue.
Rabbi Abba opened the discussion with the verse, "Happy are they who maintain justice and do righteousness at all times."
Okay, so as is often the case, one of the students of Rabbi Shimon, in this case Rabbi Abba, in helping us understand and unpack the deep significance and spiritual opportunity in that verse, draws on a verse from Psalms, from Tehillim, chapter 106, verse 3. Interestingly, why is the Zohar telling us the town that Jacob departs from? Beersheba. What is Beersheba? I mean, by the way, it's a town that exists in present day, in modern Israel today. Beersheba means 7 wells. One of the things that Isaac was doing was trying to reopen wells, to return our world to what it was before the flood. So Beersheba, but that's what it's about? It's about irrigation? Is that what we're learning about here? No, the 7 wells are the 7 sfirot. It's the combination of Zeranpin and Malchut. It's the unification of lower realm and upper realm. That's what Beersheba represents. So he's just not leaving Dodge, although I joke about it. He's not just leaving Dodge. He's leaving. Is he leaving? Is he creating disunity? Well, he has to depart from that area to go on his journey. Again, much like our soul departs from the flawless universe to come here on a journey. That unification is maintained notwithstanding. He's actually doing something much deeper. He is strengthening those wells. How does he do that? He's going off to manifest his soul in this world. That's where his journey is taking him. As a result of his battle with the snake, he's now on ascension. It looks like he's going down. He's not. I mean, at some level, he might be. He's departing Israel. On another level, this is the path he needs to take for his ascension. And how do we know that? Because he finds Rachel and he finds Leah and he marries them and he has 12 kids. And they live happily ever after? No, they don't live happily ever after. There's continuing challenges. But on his spiritual ascension, he fathers the 12 tribes. And this gives us the power to overcome the astral influences that we're constantly bombarded by, otherwise known as modern day astrology. It's like it's not just evil inclination. There are other systems that are going on in our world that are bombarding us with impulses. Every month is different. My birth month is even more different for me, as yours is. But right now, we're in the month of Sagittarius. It's at the 8th day. There's a lot of very specific challenges that are going on this month.
Question.
Yes.
So when you said he went out of Beersheba, which just explained that's an old town, and it's a newer town, I think. Meaning the 7 wells and so forth, they represent the Sephirot, the 7 Sephirot. But then he said he went to Haran.
Yeah, negative place.
I
can't tell you what about the name Haran is telling us is negative, but we know the story, so we know who he ends up with. I'm sure there is. I just don't know. And I don't know. Maybe the Zohar will point it out for us. But again, it's just a deeper understanding of the story. But it's not understanding the story. It's understanding our story. This is our story. Let's continue.
Happy are they who maintain justice. Happy are Israel, to whom the Holy One, blessed be He, gave the true Torah to study day and night.
Okay, so what is the Zohar telling us? It's saying, this is the blueprint of life. If you want to understand what's going on, we got to look towards the blueprint. So yeah, at the grocery store, I said, I don't know what's going on. But the guy I said it to understands what we understand, which is that there is a blueprint. And that's why we're on this journey. And so, okay, so what that verse, what does it mean? Happy are they who maintain justice. What is justice? Well, it's judgment, it's left column. It's like we're still working on that. But we were also given by the Creator the blueprint for reality. That's what we mean by the Holy One, blessed be, gave the true Torah, the emet, the truth, insights into the true vision or view or energy of our reality. And what does it mean to study day and night? What does that mean? Literally? I mean, I guess at some level, but in a deeper spiritual way, it's when times are rough and when times are good. Night is when I don't see the light. Day is when I do perceive the light. In both cases, I need to be appreciative of the opportunities, of the gifts, and of the insights that we have access to. It's a special merit to be able to have this insight into what's going on in the world. And as I've often shared with our group, because I've heard our teachers say, it's like, here we are studying the Zohar and we're trying to enhance our opportunity to see and understand what's going on in our life. But by the same token, we're channeling this light into the world to make the world is a better place. We are helping people in the world right now. I don't know who, but we are. It's like when we connect to the Zohar, we're manifesting more energy of healing, of protection, of blessings.
David, is this what's meant when we discuss consciousness all the time?
Yeah, absolutely. It's having a level of awareness about the opportunity that we're given to make the world a better place. Now, making the world a better place, maybe I should be volunteering at a soup kitchen. That also makes the world a better place.
Yeah.
No question. Maybe I should be giving charity. Absolutely.
We're not belittling any of those.
Right, exactly. Not to the exclusion of those things, but just as that is important, so is this hugely important. You might overlook this because we don't see, if I'm volunteering at a soup kitchen, I see what I'm handing out and who I'm helping. Here, I don't. It's like this is a thankless undertaking. And that's why I'm reminding us. And it requires an awareness, to your point, Alan, a consciousness that is what's happening.
Well, it's very hard to look at these stories with your help, without your help, or without the help of the Zohar. It's very hard to look at these stories and say, okay, how does this connect to my life?
That's right.
What exactly does this mean?
Absolutely.
And you repeat that over and over again, that every one of these stories has a connection to our life. But to make that connection is exceedingly difficult.
And we have to ask the Creator for help in doing that. Listen, when I first started studying, I'm sure I've shared this, I would start studying and I would listen to Eitan Yardeni teach Zohar, and I'd be like, oh my God, how does he do that? Like, I want to be able to do that someday. And I'm nowhere near his level.
Well, that thought has occurred to us also.
I'm nowhere near his level.
What?
And I'm with you, Alan. There's sometimes I'm reading the Zohar and I'm like, and I could spend like articles and articles, and I'm like, what? What did he say to me? What does all this mean to me? But I just like,
no question
I'll let you guide me and you'll give me some light of what I read. It's just a message will come.
And all of a sudden you'll be reading it and be like, all of a sudden, boom, I'm like, oh my God. When you have the ability to connect the dots, it's like you want to like put a pin in it because we want more of that. We want more intuitive bits. We want more guidance.
If we're alone scanning and then reading the English, let's give it up. Let's say we don't understand the Aramaic, but we're reading even just the English. Getting that connection is, like Maria, like you said, it's like impossible. So how do you make that connection?
Well, you ask for help. That's why at the beginning of every time we study, I invite in the lineage of the Kabbalists for assistance. Like, are they helping us? Yeah, they're helping us right now.
What if we use ChatGPT?
You can do that too, but
and to add, like a lot of times I'm reading like at the end of the day, the end of the night, like 9 o'clock, I just shut everything off if I'm home and I'm just in bed, winding down, and I'm reading and I'm like, what am I reading? Right. And it just stays in my head because it doesn't, as financial, right, David, things have to be like, you have to add up. I'm like, what am I reading? But then when I just let go and I just like, God, you know why you want me reading this all tonight? I have the best sleep that night. So it's just like, I slept so good last night. It's just maybe that was what I was supposed to read and calm me down.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
I
Okay,
think you
let's
begin.
continue.
Okay. And whoever is occupied in studying the Torah attains freedom from everything, but especially from freedom from death, which has no power over him.
Okay, so this is like a recurring theme. It's like, is it about the studying? Well, yeah, at some level, but it's about living. It's about I live that life. My soul is eternal. So what does it mean, freedom from death? Well, yeah, again, Messiah comes and we have eternal life. Okay, there's that. But what we mean here in this context is we're referring to the walking dead, like people who are just going through the motions. And this is not to judge, it's just to observe. We're all there at some level. We've all been there at some level, not understanding what life is about, not feeling that my life is filled with purpose and meaning. When I live a life that lacks purpose and meaning, when I live a life where I have a victim consciousness, I'm dead. When I'm living a life of understanding that I'm here for a reason, that everything is happening for a reason, that I'm here to channel the light of the Creator into the world, I'm connected to the tree of life, I'm alive. And to Alan's point before, this is where consciousness is so important. I want to be always connecting to that tree of life. I want to be at my higher version, at my elevated consciousness. I want to be connecting to a higher vibrational frequency. And this
Why
study assists us in connecting more deeply to that. Yes, Alan?
why is it that it seems that that connection is more connected to a time when we're going through a difficult time? We don't think of it as, oh, this is a really great time. I'm connected and I've got meaning and purpose. People don't stop and say, I got meaning and purpose when their life is great. People stop and think about when they're going through a difficult time and they have to tell themselves, well, there's meaning and purpose for this. You know, what's it all about? And persevere, that kind of thing. Because
Right.
that's what I've seen a lot of that since studying Kabbalah. It seems to be that's where it's at, that's where it's driven.
You know, it's like that expression, there's no atheist in a foxhole. When it's dark, everyone's praying to God. So, and that's what the verse here means, studying day and night. Yeah,
Good.
yeah, there are no atheists in a foxhole. But what about when things are good? Am I thanking the Creator for the blessings that I'm able to experience them?
I guess that's absolutely true.
And
Yeah.
I want to show up that way because I really want to maintain that connection. It's the old story. I've told this before. A guy has the biggest interview of his life, and he's in his car and he cannot find a parking spot. And he says, God, if you can help me find a parking spot, I'm going to give a lot of money to charity or something like that. And all of a sudden, the guy pulls away from the curb and he says, never mind, God, I found a spot.
Can I say, I think that in reference to what Alan was just saying, I think that what I found just in my circle, and I can only speak about where I'm at, is that there is more gratefulness for God when it's going well. And when it's going not so well, I find that the why me, where is God at? Why aren't you here for me is more of the response. And I think that finding gratitude in both, that's the whole key, right?
Yes.
Finding the gratitude in both and being grateful for both the day and the night equally is the challenge. Because I know I'm guilty of it, the poor me syndrome when it's not going the way that I want it to go. Not recognizing that maybe more likely than not I'm being protected for something that I can't see, right? And finding the balance that both excuse me that both is equally as good.
Right. I mean, this is the story of Jacob. He has to leave home. He was like the tent dweller, literally. Like he wasn't out hunting. Like Esau was comfortable out hunting for days. Jacob never did that. He literally is going out of his comfort zone. And the first night he's on some mountaintop, he doesn't know where he is, and it's not safe and it's dangerous. And he puts some rocks together to protect his head, and he goes to sleep. And what happens? He sees a ladder going into the heavens. He sees angels going up and angels coming down. He could have gotten up and said, "Well, that's a crazy dream," and kept going. And he didn't. He stopped, he paused, he saw the significance of what was going on. He was on a holy place, and he acknowledges that, and he talks about that. And that gets recorded in the Torah, not because it's an interesting story, it is, but to give us the opportunity to connect to that also during our days and our nights. It's a super powerful opportunity for us to see where's the ladder in our night. Where are our angels? They're there. The light is there. The light's in every challenge that we encounter.
That's what I was getting at. So on every challenge we have, it's to be thankful for that light that's there.
It's there. I want to see it. I have to, that's why listen, Jacob doesn't say to Rebecca, "I don't want to leave home." And she packs him a sandwich and he's on his way. I mean,
David, I think it's also like kind of teaching us our trust, right? Trust. Like you said, like Jacob went out of, he went out there. Yeah. It's like telling us and telling me, if you have plans, if you want to achieve something, just do it and trust. If you trust, just do it. Don't be afraid of what if. Don't be afraid of the what if. Let's do it and trust that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Day and night, if I trust that God will be with me, the light of the Creator, I think I'll reach that end. And I think that's what happened to him when he found the ladder with those angels in and out helping him at the end. You just said it at the end, so I think that kind of tied the whole message for me today too as well.
For sure. There's this thing where you wake up, not all parts of your brain wake up at the same time. Like your ability to reason doesn't wake up right away. So when you first wake up, it's like, oh my God, let me go back to sleep. This is it. We still have the remnants of night. We're not seeing clearly. That's what it means. It's like your soul is returned. Where am I? What is going on? Again, the light is in that. Let's finish in English because we're out of time.
Okay. He who studies the Torah and attaches himself to it holds the tree of life. If he relaxes his hold on the tree of life, the tree of death dwells upon him and seizes him.
That's it. It's like, which tree are we going to hold on to? Right. Go ahead.
This is the meaning of the verse. If you relax in the day of adversity, your strength is narrow. The word relax means relaxing one's hold on the Torah.
So it's like the default is negativity. The default is tree of knowledge of good and evil. The default is being in victim consciousness. It requires work to maintain that higher consciousness. But that work is what reveals that light. That's what we're here to do. All right, everybody, we're out of time. Thanks for reading, Maria.
Thank you,
everybody. Love you all. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.